Welcome, I'm Nathan and this is Teresa, and we're really glad to have you again this morning. As you know, we've been working our way this summer through the 12 steps and their connection to our faith as Christians, and learning, sort of thinking about the wisdom that the 12 steps bring to us. And a few weeks ago, we sat down with Lee Baltzell, a member of our congregation who's in Al-Anon, and heard her perspective. And today we're going to do something similar.
Yeah, so we were reminded as we were beginning to think about how we could share some of the wisdom from the 12 steps that there is something really important about folks going through this program to be able to remain anonymous. So Nathan and I had the chance to sit down with a few folks who have worked through the 12 steps or are working through them, who graciously shared their stories with us and some of the things that they have learned. So we're here today to share a little bit of our thoughts on what it was that folks shared with us, and what some of the wisdom is that those of us who had the chance to listen to them and who perhaps have not worked the 12 steps can still be able to glean from this incredible program. One of the people that we talked to broke down what the 12 steps were for us step by step, but also grouped them into some really helpful categories. Steps 1 through 3 were making that decision to go into recovery, and then steps 4 through 9 are doing that work of recovery, and steps 10 through 12 are really getting into patterns of daily maintenance of living a life in recovery and of sobriety. Hearing the stories of people moving through steps, the first 3 steps, was really powerful. But what was hitting me and what I'm still carrying with me are steps 10 through 12 about daily maintenance, and got me thinking about what are some of the daily maintenance practices that I have for my own spiritual life, and how often I need to go back and do some maintenance on my own activities of maintaining my spiritual life.
Yeah, because we talk often about faith as a journey, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not about the destination, right? It's about this lifelong. We say that with the confirmands every year. We talk about that with our new members, and we use that term journey a lot.
Mm-hmm.
That faith is a journey, and I think that idea of maintaining, it's not just something we do once and then we're done with it. And I think if you know anyone in recovery, and the folks we talked to shared this with us, that you're always working through it, because the moment you stay stagnant, it's gone.
Yeah.
Right. I think one person said, right, if I stop thinking about this, I'll be back on the bottom. Right. That it's that fast. And I think faith is like that too, right? Like if we, and I've heard folks say this, like, well, I just got out of the rhythm of worship, or I got out of the rhythm of prayer, and there's something to the life of faith that is, there's a ritual in it, there's a rhythm, and I think that's a really interesting parallel that the 12 steps offers us as people of faith.
And I think an important piece of, when you fall out of your rhythm, you have to get back to basics. So there was someone else that we talked to who talked about the importance of the 3rd step, and that there's so much in working through the program that hinges on working that 3rd step.
So the 3rd step is this idea that you've given yourself over to God, right? And that you were powerless and all this stuff, but now here, I need God's help. And how often in our lives do we say that, but then we begin living as if, well, we don't really need God. And that reminder, that coming back to, hey, I actually know I need God. And I think that word humbly, right? That humility, this self-awareness is a huge part of the whole recovery experience. And that humility isn't about like how terrible I am, but it's just it's aware of who I am, and how God is at work in my life, and being open to the fact that, okay, that defect, it's never really going to go away this side of eternity. But there are tools, there are ways in which God is active in my life through other people, through community, through worship, that I can begin to live a different kind of a way through the power of the Holy Spirit.
Yeah. That reminds me of one of the things that one of the individuals that we talked to said as they were going through recovery. I know that I will be okay. I know that God's going to make sure that I will be okay, but it may not be my version of okay.
Yeah.
And I have to be okay with that.
Yeah.
You got to be really humble to be able to own that statement. And that's one of the pieces that I know I'm going to continue to carry with me from the conversations that we had.
What I think you said too at one point, that fear, that's connected to lament too,
Yeah.
right? That my belief in God is that I believe in a God who is big enough
Yeah.
to hold my
Yeah.
fear
Yeah.
and my anxiety and all of that, right? That that's ultimately what this is all about, is that I believe in a God who does have it all.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not in the ways I want,
Right.
but that God does have it.
Yeah.
That God has already done it in
Mhm.
Jesus Christ. That we don't have to be afraid.
We don't.
Now, it's easy for us to say.
Right. We need to name our fear
Yeah.
so that we can get to that place of not being afraid and to do the work, to humble ourselves, to do the work of overcoming that fear so that we can have a faith that is vibrant and trusting, can hold all of the things that God is already holding us through.
Well, thanks for
Yeah.
talking. I know
Yeah.
for me, it's been really a great gift
Mm-hmm.
to engage in conversations with folks moving
Yeah.
through recovery, and because in a lot of ways, they have a lot to teach us,
Mhm.
and they're farther along in their faith journey than I am, even. And I think,
Yeah, same.
I think I definitely have learned that too.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, thank you.
Peace be with you.